Welcome back, students. Today we are going to discuss part 2 of Unit 4, that is Organism and Environment. So, before I start the main content, I would like to inform that the images used in our slides are for education purpose only. We respect intellectual property right of original creator and owner of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this PPT, have any concern, any issue, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. In this particular video lecture, we are mainly focusing on the topic ecosystem. And in this particular topic, we are going to discuss about ecological succession, types of ecological succession, nutrient cycle, biogeochemical cycle like calcium and sulfur cycle, ecological imbalance and its consequences, conservation of natural resources, renewable and non-renewable. Okay. So first one is ecological succession. Okay. So as you know that because of the environmental changes, sometime what happened, the community present in a given area can change its composition and structure over time, over a specific time. Okay. Although it is a very slow process, but it can happen. Okay. So community change their composition and structure over time due to environmental changes. And this orderly and sequential change lead to a stable climate community. Stable climax community, not climate, climax community in equilibrium with the environment. Okay, gradually predictable change in species composition in an area. This ecological succession is a gradual change, predictable change in species composition in a given area. Okay, as you can see in this picture, initially the kind of plants, shrub, grasses or trees are very different. When temperature or environment change with the passage of time, some new type of plants will grow over here, while remaining which were present previously will slowly, gradually disappeared. And after a set of time period, the new type of plant species, new type of shrub, new type of plant trees will be there. So this is known as ecological succession. And why it happened? Because of the environmental changes. Because of the environmental changes, slowly, gradually, in a very predictable manner, species which were present previously can disappear from that area, and all those species which found the current environment suitable for their growth, they can occupy the place. Okay, so it is a gradual process. Okay, community can change in a very slow manner, in a very gradual manner, and some species colonized and thrive, while other which found the current environment not suitable for their growth, they can decline in their number or finally disappeared from that particular area. Okay. So there are two terms related to this ecological succession. First one is SATHEE and another one is seral stages. So SATHEE means the entire sequence of changing community. Entire sequence. What were there previously and within a specific time period, what are the events occur. Okay, so that entire chain of sequence comes under SATHEE. Okay, so SATHEE means entire sequence of changing community, while seral changes means transitional communities present during succession. Seral changes means transitional community present during succession. Okay, so what are the characteristics of these stages? characteristic increase species diversity. This will increase in species diversity, organism number, and total biomass. Because all those type of species which already found there, which are also present, the new one also come into the existence. So species diversity will increase, right? Organism number also get increase, and so ultimately total biomass also get increase. Okay, so entire sequence of changing community means SATHEE, and serial stages transition communities which are present in between the phases, two different phases during the succession, during the evolution, or you can say during the succession period, which are present in all two type of phases. Okay, so those stages we can use the term serial stages for those. Okay, now let's discuss some type of ecological succession. First type is primary succession, which starts from a bare rock or bare land where there is no life at all previously. Okay, so this primary succession starts from a lifeless area. It occurs in lifeless area like bare rock, some new kind of pond which has been just now created. Okay, so it is a slow process. Why? Because the primary requirement for the growth, or for the growth of any type of life, primary requirement is the soil formation. And this soil formation from the rock to soil, conversion of a rock to soil, it takes too much time, means over 100 to 1000 years. So that's why primary succession is a slow process, while the secondary succession is comparatively fast process. Why? Because it occur in those area where already sometime community were there, but that community has been destroyed because of any reason. Okay, because of the forest burning, burnt forest, or abundant farmland, or because of the flood or something. But in that area where flood come just now, there were already soil, some kind of vegetation already grown by the people. So soil is there, essential other things are there, but that particular area is destroyed because of any unexpected reason. Okay, so this one is faster. Why? Because soil is already present in that particular area. So this is the main difference between primary succession and secondary succession. Primary succession occur in totally lifeless area, from a bare rock, or it start from a bare rock or a new pond area, right? Now, what are the factors which influence type of succession? Vegetation change can affect food and shelter for the animal. Okay, if a particular area, if vegetation suddenly change, then the animal type dependent on that type of vegetation can migrate from that particular area. Okay, and all those animal who use these herbivore as their food, they also can migrate or switch their food choice, right? So vegetation change affect food and shelter for animal, leading to change in animal population. Okay, and the decomposers also, because if the animal don't find out their choice of food or choice of herb or type of plant or type of vegetation in that particular area, obviously they can migrate from that area to another area, right? So this is the reason the animal population in that particular area can be changed, and obviously decomposers also change. Okay, natural or human disturbance can reset succession to a earlier stage. Yes, if human uh, show their interest to redevelop or reconstruct that particular area, okay, create some new conditions for some new kind of species. So this process, succession process, can be fast. It can achieve its optimum limit at very early, very soon, right? So that's why it is written over here, natural or human disturbance can reset succession to an early stage, creating new conditions for different species. Okay, based on habitat, succession can be classified into various categories. First one is hydrarch succession. It occurs in the water body, near water body or a wet area. Okay, progression from the hydric or wet to moderate condition, extreme condition to moderate condition or mesic condition. Okay, similarly xerarch succession means extremely dry, which this succession is present in the extremely dry area where there is no water, and it progressing from the xerarch means dry to optimum condition or basic condition. So any type of succession, whether it is present in a water rich condition or the area which is not having at all a single drop of water or dry condition, any type of extreme condition come and slowly come into the mesic condition or optimum condition, or we can say moderate condition. Okay, so both type, hydrarch or xerarch condition, which want to obtain a moderate condition which is neither too dry or nor too wet, means forest. Okay, so succession of plant. As you can see, the species that invade a bare area are called pioneer species. As you can see in this particular picture, this is a bare land where there is no single sign of life. The first species which invade in that kind of area is known as pioneer species, which start converting this bare rock into the soil. So lichen comes under this category, pioneer species. Okay, the species that invade a bare area is called pioneer species, and lichen comes under this pioneer species category. Okay, then primary succession or rock start with the lichen that weather rock and form soil, followed by the secondary one is bryophytes. First one is lichen and then followed by bryophytes. Okay, and then higher plant and eventually leading to a stable climax forest community. What is the moderate stage? Forest community, climax forest community. Slowly, pioneer community, first lichen, then small annual plant, lichens, grasses, okay, perennial plants, then shrub, then shade tolerant plant, and then shade tolerant tree. And but this process takes too much time, hundreds or thousands of years of time actually involved in this primary succession conversion. Okay, life starts from a bare rock, first pioneer species lichen, followed by small plants, bryophytes, then slowly pteridophytes, and then other higher plants, and ultimately, eventually, after 100 or 1000 years, it will lead to a stable climax forest community form. Okay, now this is an example of aquatic succession, primary succession in water. Okay, it began with the small phytoplankton. If this is a aquatic succession, it begins with the aquatic phytoplankton. Initially, some phytoplankton start actively, okay, and then slowly after some time, some emerging plant or submerged plant also come over here and start growing inside the lower layer of the water, lower layer of the soil present in the this particular lake, in which some rooted submerged plants, some floating angiosperms, some free floating plants, okay, some marshy meadows, some these kind of plants start growing over here. Okay, and then after some time, finally, when this whole pond is covered with the sediment, then finally trees come over here and start growing in this particular land and convert this aquatic pond, aquatic water body or pond into a land. Okay, so this is how slowly, one by one steps, any water body can convert into the land, or we can say forest land. Okay, now secondary succession. Secondary succession is actually depend upon the existing soil and water availability in that particular area, type of environment, type of the seeds present in that particular area. As we have discussed this, that secondary succession is comparatively faster and reach climax community at in a comparatively lesser time or more quickly, because soil, water and other environment conditions are favorable. Mainly soil is already present over here, right? So what are the key points? Key points is primary succession is slow and it takes thousands of year time to reach climax, while secondary succession is comparatively fast. But all type of succession lead to similar climax community, means mesic condition, whether it belong to extremely dry condition or extremely wet condition, but they ultimately try to reach a climax community, that is mesic condition, that is forest. Okay, now let's discuss some kind of nutrient cycle. As you know, that nutrients are essential for our growth, for our reproduction purpose, and to regulate our body functions, right? The amount of nutrient present in the soil at any time is called standing state. It's a very important term. Sometime question comes on this particular line. What is standing state? Standing state means the amount of nutrient present in the soil at any time is called standing state. It can vary by ecosystem and season. Okay. Now, recycling of nutrient. Nutrients are continuously recycled within the ecosystem. The movement of nutrient through ecosystem component is nutrient cycle. What is nutrient cycle? Movement of nutrient through ecosystem is called nutrient cycle, or we can say biogeochemical cycle. Movement of nutrient through ecosystem component is called nutrient cycle or biogeochemical cycle. Now let's discuss different type of nutrient cycle. First one is gaseous cycle and second one is sedimentary cycle. Okay, so gaseous cycle, it is gases are present in the atmosphere, so reservoir present in the atmosphere, like nitrogen cycle, like carbon cycle, right? Similarly, sedimentary cycle, what is the reservoir for sedimentary cycle? It is earth crust. So different type of elements like sulfur, phosphorus, these are the examples of sedimentary cycle, in which element, movement of any kind of element occur, movement of any kind of gas occur, then it comes to gaseous cycle category. Clear? Now, environmental regulation. Some factors like type of soil, type of moisture, pH of that particular soil, temperature, these factors actually regulate nutrient release into the environment. Okay, reservoir balance, nutrient deficit due to imbalance in influx and efflux rate. If there is any kind of imbalance between influx and efflux, then reservoir balance nutrient show a kind of imbalance. Okay. Now let's first discuss first type of gaseous cycle, that is carbon cycle. Carbon make up 49% of the dry weight of organism. Second after water. What is the amount? 49%. Okay. And this ocean holds 71% of global carbon. Regulate atmospheric carbon dioxide. Our atmosphere contain about 1% of global carbon. And these are the important data. Comes sometime question asked based on this data. Okay. So fossil fuel are also comes under a category which is known as carbon reservoir, as fossil fuel contain a significant amount of carbon in it. Okay, so carbon move through atmosphere, through ocean and living organism and dead organism, as you can see over here. Okay, so carbon move from from land, in which some kind of coal, peat, fossil fuels are there. Because of burning, because of volcanic activity, it move from land to atmosphere. Combustion of fossil fuel, right? Decomposition of dead and decaying material, it can move from land to atmosphere. And because of the assimilation of that carbon dioxide by phytoplankton, it further come from atmosphere to the ocean, and by assimilation by plant animal, it come to the land side also. Okay, so these are the movement type, and because of respiration, plant respiration or animal respiration, they can move again from land to atmosphere type. So this is how carbon can move from atmosphere to any type, any water body or land area, or in a living organism body. Annually, 4 into 10 to the power 13 kg of carbon is fixed in our biosphere through photosynthesis, and it's a huge amount. Through photosynthesis, 4 into 10 to the power 13 kg of carbon is fixed. Right? Carbon dioxide is returned to the atmosphere through respiration by producer and consumer. Return from atmosphere to the land area through return. Assimilation by from atmosphere to land area, but because of the respiration by plant or animal, it can move from producer and consumer to atmosphere. Right? Decomposers add carbon dioxide tool by breaking down waste and decay material. Right? These are the decomposers. Some fixed carbon is lost to sediment, removing it from the circulation. Sources of atmospheric carbon dioxide. What are the sources? Sources: burning of fossil fuel, burning of wood, forest fire, fossil fuel, combustion, volcanic activity. These activity can enhance atmospheric carbon dioxide content in the environment. Okay. Similarly, deforestation, burning fossil fuel have increased atmospheric carbon dioxide, and which is the main reason of greenhouse effect also. Okay. Now next one is the phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus, it is a key component of our biological membrane of our cell, which is present in all kind of cell. Okay, phosphorus is a key component of biological membrane. It is also present in the nucleic acid. It is also involved in the energy transfer system as a ATP, adenosine triphosphate, right? Phosphorus is essential for shell, all kind of bone and teeth of the animals, right? Phosphorus is present on the rock as phosphate, right? So weathering of these rock release phosphate into the soil, which further absorbed by the plant. Okay, so this is the, as you can see over here, this erosion of the phosphorus rock. Okay, this is runoff in the river and water stream, further dissolve in the water and further decomposed by the different decaying phytoplankton, zooplankton, and then utilized by the other things, other animal which are present in the plant. If watering occur with this pond water, then further this phosphorus move from the water body to the land. Okay, so this is how phosphorus can also move from one level to another level, but it move within the terrestrial range. Okay, so movement through ecosystem. Animal obtain phosphorus by eating plants. Yes. And decomposers release phosphorus from waste and dead organism. This decomposers release phosphorus from the waste and decaying animal. No respiratory release of phosphorus into the atmosphere. There is no respiratory release of phosphorus occur into the atmosphere. So movement occur within the land area, land or water area. No movement occur into the atmosphere. Atmospheric phosphorus input via rainfall is minimum. This one is the minimum. Negligible gaseous exchange of phosphorus occur between environment and organism. Clear? So ecological imbalance. Ecological imbalance means when the balance between living organisms and their environment and natural process is disrupted. Okay, when balance between living organism, their environment and natural process is disrupted, then we can use the term ecological imbalance for the same. What are the causes? Causes include human activity, invasive species, different climate changes, different kind of pollution and habitat destructions. What are the consequences of ecological balances? Consequences, first one is the biodiversity loss, means decline in species diversity, reduce ecosystem resilience. Second, habitat degradation, deforestation, cutting of the forest, trees present in the forest, urbanization, pollution, these can harm habitat, which finally affect plant and animal species and also microorganisms present in a particular habitat area. Right. Third is climate change is also responsible for ecological imbalance. Human activities like burning fossil fuel contributing to global warming, impacting ecosystem globally. Fourth one, ocean acidification. Increased carbon dioxide level make ocean more acidic, which finally change the pH of the ocean water and show a kind of harmful effect on marine life and especially corals. Mass destruction, species extinction, disrupt food web and ecological function. So mass destruction also occur. Economic losses, degraded ecosystem impact agriculture, fisheries, tourism, and affecting livelihood of those who are totally dependent on these things for their livelihood. Okay, environmental quality decline means pollution, deforestation, habitat loss, reduce air and water quality. Now, resource conservation. Resource conservation involving managing resource for sustainable use means renewable resources. First one is solar energy. Means one can use solar energy as a by utilizing solar panel for their electricity purpose. Okay, so it can reduce our dependency on fossil fuel. Okay, and wind energy, again use of wind energy also reduce our dependency on fossil fuel. Why? How it convert electricity by wind turbines. So these are the examples of some renewable resources. This is how we can conserve our resources, right? Water resources, another example. This water is provided by river, lake, groundwater for drinking, irrigation and hydroelectric power. Forest. Forest act as a resource for what? For providing different kind of wood, timber, okay, different habitat and ecosystem services. So conservation strategy. Conservation strategy means we have to promote renewable energy source for our use. Okay, and implement sustainable forestry practice also and ensure efficient water management and conservation. These are the promoting renewable resource, renewable energy for as a resource purpose, implement sustainable forest practice. Third, ensure efficient water management and conservation. Non-renewable resources, fossil fuel. This is comes under non-renewable resource category because the amount of fossil fuels is limited. Okay, and different coal, oil, natural gas, these are the type of fossil fuel. Okay, These are formed over a million of years. But you can say from 1800 to 2017 data, you can say significant increase use of different coal, crude oil, and natural gas. We are totally dependent on this fossil fuel for our um, any type of need for energy generation, for electricity generation, or for petrol, diesel, and other things. We are totally dependent on fossil fuel in a very significant way. Okay, so our dependency on fossil fuel, first of all, reduce the amount of fossil fuel present in on the earth, and also pollute our increase pollution level is totally increased day by day because of the overuse of this fossil fuel. Okay, some minerals are also present in a limited amount in our earth, like different kind of metal like iron, copper, and gold. These are also comes under non-renewable resources. Okay, so conservation strategy. What are the conservation strategy? We have to reduce our dependency on fossil fuel by promoting renewable energy, right? And use energy efficient technology and practices. Thirdly, emphasize recycling and reuse of mineral. First one is reduce dependency on fossil fuel. Second one, use energy efficient technology and practice. And third one, we must emphasize recycling and reuse of minerals. Okay, now biodiversity and ecosystem conservation. So what is biodiversity? Biodiversity means variety of living organisms present in the different kind of ecosystem. Okay, what are the conservation strategy? Established protection area like national park, okay, like sanctuaries, like wildlife sanctuary, national park, and other areas which are wildlife protected areas. We have to protect our wildlife by following conservation strategy. Then restore our degraded habitat. And promote sustainable land management to minimize habitat construction. So this is how we can conserve our ecosystem. Okay, so this is all about the today's video lecture, which is related to ecosystem part 2. I hope most of the topics has been cleared now. Still you have any query, any doubt related to today's topic, please let me know. We will discuss it later on. Till then, take care, bye bye, and keep learning. Namaskar.